Have you ever stopped to think what it would be like to play hide and seek with someone who is quite literally everywhere at once? I mean, it's a wild idea, right? But it's actually at the very heart of this incredible theological concept called divine omnipresence. And to really get our heads around it, we're going to start with a little game of cosmic hide and seek. So really, just imagine that for a second. A game where the person who's seeking is also already in every single hiding spot. I know, it sounds completely impossible, but this playful question, it gets us right to the core of what omnipresence is all about. Now, here's the twist. The point of this cosmic game isn't that God is trying to hide from us, not at all. It's actually that we need to learn how to open our eyes to a presence that is already there, always reaching out. So, you ready? Let's explore the rules of the game. Okay, first up, we're going to dive deep into this powerful metaphor of cosmic hide and seek. Then, we'll shift gears from the metaphor to the theology and really ask, what does it mean to say God is always here? So, what in the world is omnipresence? Well, it's not some fuzzy, impersonal energy, like the air around us. No, it's deeply, radically personal. It means God was right there with you when you were frantically searching for your car keys this morning. And he was there just beaming when you accomplished something you were really proud of. He's intimately aware of every single detail. And listen, this isn't a new idea. This ancient verse just captures that feeling so perfectly. You can almost hear the writer, King David, having this aha moment, realizing that no matter where he goes, the highest of highs or the lowest of lows, he just can't get away from this presence. It's a thought that is somehow both incredibly comforting and totally mind-blowing. Okay, but that's ancient poetry. How does this whole concept actually work in a real, modern, messy life? Well, let's take a look at Sarah's story. She's a busy mom with 3 kids. You see, Sarah always felt this nagging guilt because she didn't have a perfectly quiet, formal time to spend with God. But her whole world shifted when she grasped omnipresence. She had this realization that God wasn't waiting for her in some quiet, pristine room. He was already with her, right in the middle of her chaotic, beautiful, messy life. And for her, that changed everything. Sarah's story brings up a really important question. If God is everywhere, where, specifically, do we even begin to look for him? One source we came across used a great analogy. Think of it as a kind of cosmic Wi-Fi. This divine signal, it's just on, and it permeates every single part of our existence, our thoughts, our dreams, our past, our future. There's no part of our experience that's off the grid. So let's just zoom in on 2 really powerful examples, our fears and our relationship with time. Fear. We all know what that feels like, right? It's one of those emotions that can make you feel completely and utterly alone. But this idea of omnipresence, it suggests we are never, ever truly alone in it. Now, the promise here isn't that the fear will just magically vanish. It's more about having, as the source put it, an invisible hand to hold while you're going through it. It's this promise of an active, strengthening presence right there with you, in the middle of whatever it is that scares you. So just take a second and think about this. Your biggest fear, that thing that keeps you up at night. How might your perspective on it shift if you truly, deeply believed you weren't facing it alone, but with a divine presence holding you up? Okay, now let's zoom out from our emotions to time itself. God's presence isn't just a right now thing, it actually stretches across your entire timeline. The source compared it to having a cosmic GPS for your life. You've probably heard this famous verse before, and it really reinforces that GPS idea. It suggests that God's presence isn't just with you now, but it extends into your future with real purpose and intention. It's like the GPS is already programmed with a destination called hope. Okay, so we've talked about where God is, in our fears, in our future, but how do we actually start recognizing that presence in our tangible, everyday world? Oh, I just love this story about Mark. It's such a perfect example. He shows us that you don't need to be standing on the rim of the Grand Canyon to see God in nature. You can be walking through a concrete jungle and see divine resilience in a tiny dandelion pushing its way through the sidewalk. It's all about adjusting your focus. And this idea goes way beyond just nature. The sacred is so often hiding in the most ordinary places. You can find these profound spiritual truths in the most mundane activities, whether you're folding a mountain of laundry or just waiting in line at the grocery store. So, this leads us to the million-dollar question. If God is truly everywhere, in dandelions, in our daily chaos, in the laundry, then why do we miss him so often? Well, it turns out there are a few common roadblocks. First, just simple distraction from all the noise of the world. Second, our own expectations. Maybe we're looking for a giant burning bush experience when God is speaking in a whisper. Third is busyness. We're just rushing so fast we fly right past the present moment. A fourth one can be guilt, that feeling of being unworthy that makes us pull away. And finally, it can just be a simple lack of practice. We haven't trained ourselves to be aware. But here is the really good news. These roadblocks, they can be overcome. Lisa's story is such a powerful example of that. Once she started to intentionally practice being aware, her whole world just lit up. She said it was like going from seeing in black and white to seeing in full, vibrant color. And that brings us to our final section. We've gone from understanding the concept to seeing the challenges. So now it's time for action. Your own adventure and awareness is waiting for you. And here's a wonderfully simple and practical first step. Start a God-sighting journal. Seriously, it's not complicated. Just take a few minutes every evening to jot down a few moments, big or small, where you sense that divine presence. Do that for a while, and you'll start to see patterns you never, ever noticed before. So, the cosmic hide-and-seek continues, but now you know the secret. The seeker is also right there beside you, just inviting you to open your eyes. So let me leave you with this. Where in your own life will you ask him to show up first? Take that question with you, because for you, the real adventure is just beginning.